partly cloudy with a high of 68. Saturday will feature intervals of clouds and sun with a high of 69. Sunday looks stunning with abundant sunshine and a high of 75. With the AccuWeather forecast, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg for News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Live from the WHBC Broadcast Center. Find out more about area businesses, agencies, and events.
It's what's going on right now.
This is Spotlight.
And welcome to Spotlight on this beautiful Wednesday morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm Pam Cook with you today. And of course, we are going to be chatting about one of the tried and true, long time honored events that happens in our area that so many people love. And that would be the Yankee Peddler Festival. And we want to bring in right now Frank Chaika, who is going to talk to us a little bit about what's going on with the Yankee Peddler Festival. He joins us this morning. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. Thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure to be with you again.
Yeah, glad to have you on again. We always enjoy talking about the Yankee Peddler Festival. And this is coming up starting next weekend, correct?
Yeah, the weekend following Labor Day, the 6th. It's the
Okay.
first weekend, and we follow the following 2 weekends thereafter.
Yes, goes for 3 weekends, and there's just so much to see and do. But let's start off a little bit about the history of the Yankee Peddler Festival, of course, because that's a big deal. I mean, it's a pretty amazing thing.
We've had a pretty good run. We're in year 52 now, and we've crossed generations. My parents were among the first involved in organizing the festival, and it's, of course, passed on to Amanda and I, my wife and myself. And we have 3 young, well, they're not so young anymore. We have 3 children who also are part of the festival crew. And the same thing is we have a partner who also has a son who's involved in the festival as well. So it's a real family operation. And we hope that we've learned our lessons well from the past. And a lot of what we do is to keep the past going. I think as one person I was just speaking with the other day said, when I walk into the festival, I'm immersed. All my senses are completely immersed. I can smell great food. I can fresh air. There's music. There's lovely vibes. Visually, it's a completely different world. So I'm completely immersed in a different world from the daily humdrum existence I have, he said. And I think that's true. And that's I think one of the keys to keeping the festival going. It's a different world that you can visit, and it's a pleasant world. It's a peaceful world, and there's no real conflict. It's a nice place to be. Yeah.
Back when times were simpler, right?
Yeah, and including the festival itself. As we've gone to globalization and stuff, there's all kinds of complications that were involved in obtaining resources and all these different things. So yeah, it's a more complex task these days, but hopefully we're up to the task to do it.
Well, I'm sure you are. But how did the idea come about way back when, 52 years ago?
Yeah, actually it was 53 years ago. It took a year to put it all together. But my parents had a floral business previously, and they retired from that, but they felt that they'd made a lot of contacts with people who were in the arts and crafts community. So my mother started a business called Hoot Owl Roost in Rocky River, Ohio, in which basically was consignments for artists and crafters. And at that time, artists and crafters had very few ways to get their products to market. There were very few festivals or anything, shows. And as my mother spoke with those people, she also entertained the same thought of perhaps doing a festival with who became our partners, Bob and Gretchen Yapple, who were involved in display activities for the malls and for businesses. And they talked it over, and they decided, well, we have people who can set things up, and we have people who can organize. Let's do it. And they chose the theme of 1776 to 1825 because the bicentennial was going to be coming up in a few years. They started 1973 was the first year, and 1976, of course, was a big deal. So that kind of was what kicked it off, and it caught on really well. It became a very important conduit for artists and crafters to reach the market, and there was a generation of people who had just lived through the changeover from doing things by hand to be machine work products, and they fell in love with the festival. And we used to have buses and buses of old, quote, elderly people that are 50 and above. I'm one of them. coming to the show, and it caught on, and it took on a life of its own. In the year 2000, we added the Yankee Peddler Today, a contemporary side, because we'd only been having crafts that were characteristic of 1776 to 1825. We added the Yankee Peddler Today component, which brings contemporary crafts in, and that's been very successful as well. So we have a blend of the old and the new, but always with that core of giving people a whole new world to walk into, and that's, I think, the key to its success.
Yeah, I think it's a learning experience for adults and for kids alike. I mean, what a great way. A lot of kids are visual learners. It's just a wonderful way for them to come and see and participate, and like you said, smell the aromas of great food and hear the music and the blacksmith, and just all of those different things.
Right.
Let's talk about the location, because
Okay.
it's
Yes, that's an important part.
Place.
The location is Clay's Jellystone Park, or Clay's Park Jellystone Resort. Let's get it straight now. They are part of the Northgate chain of parks now, but we've always had a great relationship with the Clays first, and now with Northgate, and they are wonderful people to work with. We lease the park the month of September, and they trust us with Kara and everything else, and it works out very, very well for them and for us as well. It's been a marvelous relationship. So I'm talking about more from a personal business relationship than actually its location. Its location, of course, is in North Lawrence, just outside of Canal, Fulton.
And it is what I would call the perfect location, because people can go there. And I know that you always said that, some of your crafters and folks that are there, they stay for the whole time, don't they?
Right. We they camp out next to their booth, or they camp in Clay's Park campground because they have longer RVs, etc. But people live the festival out. The mountain men stay there, and there's musicians that stay there, and they play music at night. There's a lot of activity at night, even in the evenings. That is not open to the public, but it's open to the community of Yankee Peddlers. And we really work to form a group that loves each other, works with each other, and helps each other out. It's a very caring group of people. And I think that shows up in the public as well. People are very open. Our crafters are very open to showing what they're doing. We don't find, as you see in other shows, people just sitting there reading a book or something and waiting until someone says, "Can I buy this?" But we have people who actually engage the public, show what they're doing. And for children, it's wonderful. We even have a children's weekend. The second weekend is dedicated. It's the same show, but we have special demonstrations for children and special activities for children on that weekend. Scout groups come, different children's group schools come to participate as well.
Has it always been 3 weekends, or was that added on as time went by?
Well, I can tell you what happened in the first 4 years. It was 2 weekends. The fifth year, we were washed out virtually one weekend, and that left one weekend only of success. And so that was the point which they decided, even though September is historically the driest month of the year, you can have rain. And so they extended to 3 weekends. And the fundamental reason was you could get 2 weekends out of the 3. And sometimes it's hard for people that come from far away out of town there, because they have to deal with camping or lodging or whatever for 2 weeks there. But that's been the really success, because you could always count on at least a couple weekends to work. And since many people, this is their major source of income for the year, that's really important. And so the 3 weekends are there. And seriously, the third weekend generally is not people that know the festival. It's people who are new to the festival, that are, as far as the public goes. And so it's an opportunity to get to know the festival, and we have an opportunity to show them what to come back to the next year too, if they understand, if they appreciate it. So it's also a gateway. It's kind of a gateway weekend for us.
And I noticed on the website, you were mentioning people coming from out of town. You have directions for everybody coming from every direction, basically.
Right.
And you get a lot of visitors from out of town, don't you?
Yes, we do. We have quite a contingent that come from the Buffalo area, from the Pittsburgh area. West Virginia, up towards Michigan, Toledo, Columbus, of course, Cincinnati. So we have quite a few people that come up from that area for a visit. They stay the weekend. We have accommodations arranged with the different hotels in the North Canton area. And so it's more economical, and they can stay overnight and come back the next day, or they can go down to or they can go to Hartsville, or they can go to Amish country, or wherever else they'd like to do on the second day. So, in fact, that's what we're working with Visit Canton with, that kind of approach to make a team, a tour kind of operation for people.
So, what are the hours?
The gates open at 10:30 in the morning, and they close at 5:30. And during that time, you will not find a vehicle on the grounds. You will find just peace and quiet and a leisurely pace of life. We cover probably about 75 acres of grounds. It's pretty extensive. You want to wear walking shoes. Of course, you've been there and you know that. And so there's a lot to see and a lot to do, but there's a lot of places to rest. There's a lot of good places to rest and hear entertainment. And there's a lot of good places to rest and eat, particularly food. So you have a nice leisurely day there.
All right, we're going to take our first break. When we come back, we'll talk about the entertainment and the food, and of course, some of the crafters and things like that we want to focus on. And we will do that as we will talk more about the Yankee Peddler Festival coming up the weekend after Labor Day, and it is Spotlight right here on 1480 WHBC.
The Saturday Morning Huddle returns to the WHBC YouTube channel and Facebook Live every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. We'll have highlights, coach and player interviews, analysis, and much more.
Kenny Rhoda and John Bazika help you get caught up on Friday night high school football action on the Saturday Morning Huddle, 10 a.m. on the WHBC YouTube channel and live on Facebook.
The Saturday Morning Huddle is presented by Marianne Donuts, DeHoff Realtor Ty Colucci, Akron Auto Auction, Dirty Hands Excavating and Restoration LLC, and Community One Credit Union. Subscribe now to our YouTube channel and don't miss a minute. Watch it live or on demand.
Summer is better with Bell Stores. Bell Buddy Rewards members can enjoy incredible summer savings, including 5 cents off a gallon for every $25 spent in the store. Road trip goodies, backyard beverages, game day snacks. The more you spend in the store, the more you save at the pump. Not a Bell Buddy Rewards member yet? Download the Bell Stores app today. Sweet summer savings at Bell Stores. Ohio owned and keeping your family on full.
Step back in time 200 years and join the Yankee Peddlers at the 52nd Annual Yankee Peddler Festival at Clays Park Resort in Canal, Fulton, Ohio, on the weekends of September 6th, 13th, and 20th. Over 200 artists and crafters will set up rustic shops at the largest show of its kind in Ohio, joined by purveyors of tasty outdoor fare made over open fires and entertainers from musical groups to theatrical productions. More information at yankeepeddlerfestival.com.
Save an extra 10% off Maven solid wood dining, bedroom, home office, and end tables now through September 3rd at Casey's Furniture. Hi, I'm Jim Casey, inviting you to stop in and see our selection of beautiful Maven furniture. Maven furniture is custom built for you. You choose the style, the type of wood, the wood finish, paint, or combination of paint and stain. Handcrafted in nearby Dundee, Ohio, you'll find exceptional quality in every piece of Maven furniture, built by local Amish artisans. Save an extra 10% now through September 3rd on Maven solid wood furniture. Casey's Furniture, 7170 Portage Street, 2.8 miles west of I-77 at exit 111, the Strip exit in Jackson Township. Maven has a style and size that's just right for you. Save an extra 10% on Maven solid wood furniture now at Casey's. Visit us at caseysfurniture.com. Casey's will be closed on Labor Day.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to save.
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in experience and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
5005 Rockside, Cleveland. CordellCordell.com.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay, and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now through Tuesday at Mattress Firm, save up to 70% on top brands and queens starting at $89.99. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
An endless array of styles, colors, and fabrics are unveiled for summer at Andrews Furniture in Sugar Creek. Our inspiration comes from your lifestyle. This month, Andrews is hosting a sale on all your Flexsteel furniture favorites: luxurious upholstery, fine leathers, motion furniture, and handcrafted accent tables. Each an additional 10% off Andrews' everyday low prices. As the popularity of locally made Amish furniture continues to grow, families appreciate the 100% solid hardwood construction and distinctive style for which the Amish are famous. Through Labor Day, save an additional 10% on all heirloom quality Maven Amish-built bedrooms, dining rooms, home office, and occasional tables. Celebrate the holiday in Amish country and enjoy an extra 10% off your favorite Flexsteel and Maven collections during Andrews' Endless Summer Sale. Open Labor Day 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Gain a global perspective and specialized skills that many of today's top employers are seeking with an MBA from University of Maryland Global Campus. Study online and complete your degree in just 16 months for about $21K. Choose from MBA specializations in global business, marketing, HR, finance, and more. No application fee if you apply by September 3rd. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
And welcome back to Spotlight here on 1480 WHBC. We've been talking Yankee Peddler Festival, hopefully giving you a little bit of history and background about the event that's coming up the weekend after Labor Day. So looking forward to that. We're talking September 6th and 7th, 13th and 14th, and 20th and 21st, the 52nd annual. And Frank Chika is with us. And you've been involved all 52 years, sir?
Well, I came in, my wife and I came in 5 years into the show.
Okay.
So we're
Same
pretty
difference.
close. Yeah, and while we were we were not the principals in the business, we certainly worked hand in glove with my parents. I'm an only child, and I was raised in a family business, and that that's pretty much, even though I had another profession, that was pretty much part of my life all the time.
Yeah.
And so we were actively involved. And my mother was a wonderful tutor. She used to be able to go around and tell people how to start festivals and how to work festivals. She was really dedicated to getting arts and crafts started as a market in Ohio, Northeast Ohio, and so the dedication and the hard work she put in, rubbed off on me.
Yeah.
And of course and Amanda too. She was brought into all this, and she's been very dedicated to it as well.
And the passion shows through. You can tell that's been part of your life for a long time.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
As I grow older, I keep thinking about it a little bit, but yeah, it's a year-round proposition indeed.
Yeah,
some people think you just put it together and the people come together and that's it. No, it takes an incredible work during.
And you're going to start on next year's, like, as soon as this one's over, right?
We already have.
And you already have. So
yeah, and this is the most intense time of the year because, of course, we're getting the grounds ready. We're putting all the pieces together to, it's a lot of people to bring in together and work together and get them to do everything at the same time. So that this time is very intense. And then, of course, we have our obligations to the public and everything. But we're already receiving applications for next year, and we're already beginning that process of vetting. Fortunately, that's where a couple of our children come in handy. They're able to sort of process those and get a head start on that process as well. And after the festival, there's no rest. We kick into 2026 gear real quick.
So let's talk about, you were talking about, the aroma of great food. I'm a foodie. So let's just start with the food situation when people arrive.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bit of everything, but it's all made over open fires. It's all made out in the open. And so you're not, you can have the aroma of whatever happens to be cooking in that area. And we run the gamut. I mean, one of our most popular items, of course, is apple fritters. And they sell over 4 tons of apple fritters every year. And, they peel the apples there. They cut the apples there. They core them and cut them, and they put them in the batter and they deep fry them there over an open fire. And they're just remarkable. Yes,
heavenly.
The aroma is very delightful as it cooks. But we have everything from panini, corn on the cob, Reuben sandwiches. I can't. Running down the list is very, very lengthy. Yeah. But we have just almost anything you could like. A lot of barbecue, chicken, a lot of really very solid, good food, and the prices are very reasonable considering where the market is these days. I think one of the characteristics of Yankee Peddler is that we haven't. The inflation is hitting us, but we haven't. People aren't raising their prices as much as you find in some of the other areas. So the price of the food is reasonable. By the way, I heard the little spiel about tipping. No tipping, please. We don't.
No tipping.
So
that's good to know.
Yes, it is. So I mean, we try to make it as much as the food would taste like 200 years ago, and something that's really mouthwatering and very, very tasty.
So how do people get tickets? We haven't really mentioned that just yet. If they're interested in getting
well,
tickets.
Obviously you can go to the gate and stand in line a little bit at the early part of the morning. Tickets there are a little bit higher than online. We sell discounted tickets online. At the gate, adults are $11, seniors $10, and that includes military as well and first responders. And then children 6 to 11 are $3. Online, well, our advance sale is passed. That goes until August 15th, but we do give a little bit of a discount. They're $10.50 for adults, $10 for seniors, because that's already the discounted price, and $2.50 for children. And you can go online to yankeepeddlerfestival.com, which is our website, and learn all about the festival. But you could also click on that Buy Tickets button and download the tickets onto your phone. You don't have to stand in line at the park, and you can just walk in and they'll scan your ticket and you're in. So it's a very simple process, actually.
And you need to get a ticket for each weekend if you want to keep coming back, right?
Right. That's right. Yes. Mm-hmm. You can buy any ticket you buy online could be good for any week, any day of the festival, but it's used. And so you have to buy another one to return.
All right. Well, we'll take a break right now for the news. And when we come back, we'll talk more about all of the wonderful artisans and crafters that are going to be at the Yankee Peddler Festival again, coming up next weekend, the weekend after Labor Day, and for 3 weekends in a row, as a matter of fact, at Clays Park. So we'll tell you more about that on Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
1480 WHBC is a Stark County original, and while we celebrate our 100 years, we also want to recognize our Stark County businesses like Alt Care, providing you with high-quality health insurance for the past 40 years.
Get ready for Labor Day with Ben Wollenberg's Chocolates and Nuts. Now through Labor Day, all nuts in their famous nut cabinet are 20% off. Stock up for your cookout today at Ben Wollenberg's, where Canton gets its nuts.
Medicine Center pharmacies have been serving our local community for over 40 years. Our customers know they can count on our pharmacy staff, save money, and trust us. Stop by any of our Medicine Center pharmacy locations in Canton, Louisville, Minerva, and New Philadelphia, or visit us online at medshoprx.com.
Listen to the Kenny and JT Show here on 1480 WHBC for exclusive Pro Football Hall of Famer interviews presented by Akron Auto Auction as part of the Pro Football Hall of Fame residency program. Score big with AkronAutoAuction.com, a driving force in the industry.
Step into history at the Great Trail Festival this weekend. See artisans and crafters demonstrating their skills and offering their wares. Savory kettle-cooked foods, live music with show fiddlers, clog dancing, Scottish pipers, and the TP Village are the hallmark of a Great Trail Festival. 2 special weekends on August 23rd and 24th, August 30th and 31st, and September 1st from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on State Route 43, just 18 miles south of Canton at Malvern, Ohio. Visit GreatTrailFestival.com.
Call Crown Heating and Cooling today. With Crown, estimates are always free. Let them show you how much you can save when you trust the carrier experts at Crown. Call 330-499-4988 or visit them on the web at crowngroupohio.com. Ohio license number 27133.
Make a splash this summer with clean, soft water from Verndale Water Experts. Call 330-455-9466 or visit verndalewater.com. Verndale Pure Water, Pure Summer.
WHBC AM Canton, reliable as ever on News Talk 1480 WHBC.
From the News Talk 1480 WHBC newsroom, police in Cleveland are investigating after a baby girl was found dead in a driveway on the city's west side. Officials say early Saturday morning, officers arrived around 2:15 a.m. They found paramedics treating a woman for a suspected overdose. Police learned that the 39-year-old woman had recently given birth, and when officers searched the area, found the infant inside a cloth shopping bag in a nearby driveway. The baby girl was pronounced dead, the infant's death being investigated as a homicide. Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook stated she is not resigning despite President Trump's announcement of firing her. Cook claimed that the president has no authority to remove her and cited her intention to continue her duties to help the American economy. President Trump cited the Federal Reserve Act of 1913 as the basis for his decision to terminate Cook's employment. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce broke the internet yesterday when the celebrity couple announced they're engaged. They shared the news in a joint Instagram post, writing, quote, "Your English teacher and your gym teacher are getting married." They also posted several photos, including one of Kelce down on one knee, one of the couples locked in an embrace, and a close-up of the engagement ring. Swift and Kelce began dating back in 2023. In sports, the Guardians beat the Tampa Bay Rays last night 3-0. Parker Messick struck out 6 over 7 innings, got his first win in the majors. They play a day game today. First pitch, 1:10 this afternoon. I'm Pam Cook.
Your severe weather station, News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Here's your AccuWeather forecast. Today will be partly sunny and pleasant with a high of 71. Tonight, expect partly cloudy skies with a low of 51. Tomorrow, anticipate a mix of clouds and sunshine with a thunder shower possible in the afternoon. The high will reach 73. Friday will be mostly sunny to partly cloudy, reaching a high of 68. Saturday will have intervals of clouds and sun with a high of 69. Sunday looks beautiful with abundant sunshine and a high of 75. With the AccuWeather forecast, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg for News Talk 1480 WHBC.
Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
And we are back with Spotlight on 1480 WHBC on this beautiful Wednesday. You know, the weather, we're hoping this weather can stick for the Yankee Peddler Festival because it is beautiful. It is not too hot, not too cold, dry, sunny, perfect. And we have with us Frank Chaika, who is one of the directors of the Yankee Peddler Festival, along with his wife. And you guys do such a fantastic job, Frank. I mean, do you get to actually enjoy the festival while it's going on?
That's in a very in a way, yes, because it's very pleasing to see a successful show and to see the beauty there. You know, this has been a work of love in a lot of ways, and it is so. Yes, that's true. But we are exhausted most of the time,
yeah.
Frankly, and it is, and you know, it is a lot of work. There's just no doubt about it. But it pays off in the sense when you see a lot of people show up and who are enjoying it, and when you receive the compliments we generally get from the public, it's all worth it. And from the artists and crafters who come back year after year. So yeah, it's very rewarding in that sense.
All right, so it's 10:30 to 5:30, correct? That's the hours each weekend, and it is Saturday and Sunday of each weekend, correct?
Right.
All right, so folks can check it out at yankeepeddlerfestival.com. That's a great website. It's some great information. You can get tickets there if you want to, or you can get them at the gate. So just be kind of thinking about that. We talked about the food. Let's talk a little bit about the artisans, because that's changed and grown over the years, hasn't it?
Oh yes, well, you know, the arts and craft community is kind of organic in a way. It started up. There was no market at all for arts and crafts, and it built itself up. And then, you know, there was a period of time when there was kind of an invasion of Chinese knockoffs of arts and crafts, and that particularly hit right around the recession of 2008 in any event, and it was very, very traumatic for the arts and crafts community. But it's reestablished itself, and it's healthy, and certainly there are a lot of fairs and festivals that are available for people to go to. We try to make it not just an arts and crafts show, but there's so much entertainment and so much really good food, and like I say, a whole world apart, that we're trying to do more than just have an arts and crafts show. But yes, we still have some art crafters that come from Scotland every year. A silversmith and a woman who does felting. We've had various people coming from Scotland before, so we actually have a little a mini crew that's Scottish, and we have people coming from all over the United States. And you know, there's the market for certain crafts ebbs and flows. You don't find many wheelwrights anymore, but at the first 15 years of the show, we had wheelwrights, and so it's. Well, there's not a market for wheelwrights, and there's no market for baskets practically anymore because that was washed out by the Chinese invasion. We have other crafts that are reestablishing themselves very well. We have more potters this year than we've had in many years, and so pottery's making a comeback. And we, of course, we always have woodworkers, but woodworking changes according to styles and tastes and that sort of thing. So there's an evolution there. And so even though some of the people are the same that have been there, their work keeps evolving and progressing. And they make different things, and they make them in different ways. But they bring their real internal inspirational selves to the work. And so everything's you buy a unique product from all of our artists and crafters. We run the gamut from almost A to Z, I think, as we do. We don't have any Z's, but we did have xylophone maker once. But we run the gamut from A, all the way through to, I guess, W.
And when you look at them, what would you say is the most popular? Is there one that stands out among the others, or?
Oh, there's some people that just always draw a crowd around their booth, and it's because they're really quintessentially great artists, and they sell out. They don't sell out, but they sell an awful lot. The first day, people rush down to their booth, and actually, there's several. It's more than I can count on two hands that really are very, very popular people. But they come in. We have a weaver who is excellent, and we have stained glass artist who's excellent. We have some wonderful leather workers. All of them do very, very well. We have, as I said, potters. We run the gamut, and Jim Statlander, for instance, to give a name, who is a wood carver, is renowned across the globe for his carvings. And if you pass his booth this year, it'll be in Possum Run. You're just going to be blown away by what this man can do. He can make huge sculptures. It's just really astounding. And then we have Chad Johnson, for instance, who's a metal worker. He works only with copper, and he sells large copper sculptures in the festival. And sometimes they're maybe too expensive for some people to buy, but they're there to be. It's like, it's a place to observe art and enjoy it too. And you can turn around and visit the ponies if you want on the other side. There's a petting zoo right next to it. So yeah, there's a lot of really good people that have been coming back for years, and they come back because people buy for them. It pays for them, but it's also a place to spotlight their work, if I may usurp the term spotlight, to spotlight their work.
And to have an audience, people can watch them. I think for a lot of folks, it's just amazing to see them, actually do their work. That's half the coolness of it.
Right. To see someone have a hunk of wood and to make it into a bird or something else it is remarkable. And we have, for instance, a family that does glass blowing. And so they take some of the most rudimentary globs of silicon, I call them that, and they make them into objects that are just beautiful with all kinds of patterns in them and everything. You aren't going to run into many glass blowers any place in the mall or any other place you go shopping or whatever. And so they're really, it's an opportunity to really see, how things were done, but also how you can be creative with what you've got and not depend upon the vagaries of an inflating market.
Yeah. So you mentioned Possum Run. Explain about the different locations throughout the festival.
Okay, sure. The center of the festival is called Muskrat Cove. That was the first area that came into existence, along with Hoot Owl Roost. And you remember that name perhaps from the story I told you about my mother's business that she had before the festival. Hoot Owl Roost was with Muskrat Cove. After 2 years, they grew. They headed Quail Hollow. And another year they grew. They became Possum Run. And so the names are quaint. I'm not really sure how all the names, people talk and somehow they come up with a name. But we have we used to have Militia Meadow, which has since become Liberty Village. That's where the center of the Yankee Peddler today is. And then the Glen. Those are the 5 different areas that we have on the grounds. And they're color coded and they're on our map, and it helps people to navigate knowing that they're in a given area on the grounds. But everything's interconnected, and it's as you know, it's simple to get around. It's a lot of walking, but it's simple to get around.
Yeah, and the map is great because that's, you can figure out, I want to go see the glass blowers, right, or things like that. So
exactly.
Helpful.
We worked on the map I drew up the map years ago. In my past incarnation, I was a forester and wildlife manager, and I learned how to do maps on the fly. And that's one of my pride and achievements that I did. I since left those careers, but that was one of the things that legacy of my previous training.
Yes. So if folks are, they're walking around, maybe they're buying something to eat, or they want to buy something from, one of the crafters, do they need cash? How does that work?
Okay. Yes. All of the food vendors are cash. We have ATMs on the grounds. All of the artists and crafters accept plastic. We cannot accept plastic at the gate, but if you come with already buying it online, then you've solved that problem. But it's cash at the gate to get in, and also for the food vendors. And like I say, there are ATMs there on the grounds, and they're pretty reasonable ones. They don't take a big cut out of your payment there. So that's how we handle the cash flow on the grounds.
Yeah, people often wonder, and parking, obviously, there's tons of parking for folks too.
It's all free. We have handicap parking as well near gate 2. It's a flat area where there's asphalt, so people can navigate a little bit better into the park. And gate 2 is kind of a flat area as well. So it's a good introduction to the park for people that have difficulty with access. We permit scooters, but we don't rent them. We're 6-day event, 6-day a year event. It's hard to maintain a fleet of scooters for that. But people are welcome to bring their scooters, and they do, and they bring their motorized wheelchairs, whatever. But people get around with wheelchairs with someone else to give them a little hand boost.
Yeah.
But people get around, yes.
And again, as we mentioned, September 6th and 7th, 13th and 14th, 20th and 21st, opened at 10:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. And if you're looking to go and get those tickets online, you can do that at yankeepeddlerfestival.com. We're going to take our final break, Frank, and then when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about the entertainment.
Yes, I'll be glad to do that.
Fill everybody in on all the other things that we want to wrap up again and go over again. So stay tuned. Again, it is Spotlight right here on 1480 WHBC.
High school football should be our middle name.
It's great to be part of Stark County football.
Only on 1480 WHBC.
Our 81st season of high school football continues Friday night with our Freshmark Suredale Radio Game of the Week, Louisville at Alliance, our Friends and Family Credit Union Stream Game of the Week, St. Vincent St. Mary at Perry, and our Altman Health Systems Alt Care YouTube Game of the Week. Live from McKinley, the Bulldogs host St. Augustine Prep. Kickoff there at 8 o'clock.
They'll be ready to roll Friday night. It's going to be loud. It's going to be fun.
Thank you, WHBC, for everything that you do for high school sports.
This is Pro Football Hall of Famer Lynn Swan. High school football on WHBC.
Summer is better with Bell Stores. Bell Buddy Rewards members get everyday summer savings, an automatic 3 cents off per gallon instant fuel discount during every fuel purchase. That's real savings real fast. Not a Bell Buddy Rewards member yet? Download the Bell Stores app to save. Who's your buddy? Bell Stores, Bell Buddy Rewards, of course. Head to Bell Stores, Ohio owned and keeping your summer savings on full.
Is your home a safe home where unnecessary risks for substance abuse and suicide have been reduced or eliminated? You probably childproof your home when your kids were little. A safe home has firearms secured, has medications, alcohol, and chemicals safely stored. And everyone in a safe home knows what to do if they notice warning signs of substance abuse, depression, anxiety, and suicide. Learn all about keeping a safe home at starkmhar.org. Brought to you by Stark County Mental Health and Addiction Recovery.
Step back in time 200 years and join the Yankee Peddlers at the 52nd Annual Yankee Peddler Festival at Clays Park Resort in Canal, Fulton, Ohio, on the weekends of September 6th, 13th, and 20th. Over 200 artists and crafters will set up rustic shops at the largest show of its kind in Ohio, joined by purveyors of tasty outdoor fare made over open fires and entertainers from musical groups to theatrical productions. More information at yankeepeddlerfestival.com.
William is one of millions of Americans who uses GoodRx to save on the cost of their prescriptions.
My oldest daughter, Camilla, 2 days old, she had to have open heart surgery. All of a sudden, she's on 5 different medications. It adds up at the end of the month. Me and the pharmacist got so tight. She said, GoodRx save you a lot of money. Saving that extra $200-300 a month. We're able to do all these extra activities, so it puts less stress on our household, and it puts less stress on our pockets.
Download the free app or visit GoodRx.com and start saving today. GoodRx user compensated for their time. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance.
Stop in for factory authorized savings during the Flex Deal Labor Day sale at Casey's Furniture. Hi, I'm Jim Casey of Casey's Furniture, inviting you to save an extra 10% off Flex Deal furniture that's in stock or custom ordered. Now is the perfect time to save and get your home ready for the holidays. Save on Flex Deal stationery and reclining, sofas, love seats, sectionals, and chairs. Step into our Flex Deal gallery, sit down, relax, and feel the comfort and quality of Flexsteel furniture. Casey's Furniture, 7170 Portage Street, 2.8 miles west of I-77 at exit 111, the Strip exit in Jackson Township. Hurry in today for the Flexsteel Labor Day savings that end September 5th at Casey's Furniture. Visit us at caseysfurniture.com. Casey's will be closed Labor Day to be with their families.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Now back to Spotlight on 1480 WHBC.
All right, we are back for our final segment of Spotlight on this Wednesday, talking about the Yankee Peddler Festival. And Frank Chaika is with us, and we've been talking about the food. One thing I have to say during the break, I always like to go and look at the website is fantastic, tons of great information there. But when there is a part on the website that talks about the food and where it's located, where you can find it. So, if you get there, you're hungry, you want to go get your food and then walk around everything, get to the website, take a look at all the stuff that is on the website. And again, this is all coming up September 6th and 7th, the 13th and 14th, and the 20th and 21st, 10:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. on those days. And Frank, there is also, besides the food and the artisans and crafters and demonstrations, there's also live entertainment too, right?
Exactly. Can I say one word about demonstrations? Yeah, we have some groups that we pay and organize to come to the festival every year that are remarkable. They set up encampments, they live there, they work there, and they show you how people lived during the colonial period, actually in the Civil War period. This year we're bringing back, I think, if it all goes well, it's a work in progress, we're bringing back a colonial militia, Revolutionary War group, as well as we have a Civil War group that is an artillery group that fires a cannon 3 times a day. So you have to be ready for that because it always comes out of nowhere. And we also have our mountain men, who are splendid people who have been with the festival since its inception. And they set up just a marvelous display about how people, we didn't have many mountains in those days, but how people on the so-called frontier used to live and support themselves. And we have the Algonquin Spinning Guild, which also starts with a fleece that they buy at the Stark County Fair, and they make it into all kinds of wonderful sweaters and products. Of course, they use other fleeces as well, but they do it they spin everything. It's all by hand, spinning and then weaving. They're marvelous, marvelous demonstrators. And of course, we have the glass blowers as well. So that's a whole separate component in a way, but it all fits in to the education and the world we're trying to create there. As far as entertainment goes, we have, there's always music on the grounds. There's always something going on. And as I said, there's also a cannon firing, so you have to be careful. But we have a wandering magician, Charming Jay, that's Jania Taylor, who comes down from Harbor Springs, Michigan, and wanders around doing her magic tricks. We have a father and daughter group, a father and daughter combination who does music and magic at the same time on stage. We have the 2 main music groups that'll be on stage this year, the first weekend and the third weekend, Paul Pyra, the Paul Pyra Trio, and also the Elders, although they're not that old, but they have the name the Elders on the last weekend. Marvelous acoustic musical group, so they do amplify their stuff a little bit, but they're basically acoustic. And on the middle weekend, we have an arrangement that we've worked out this year, and hopefully will continue into the future, with the music department at Kent State University for some of their accomplished graduate students to play at the festival. We're going to have a clarinet quartet called the Gala Quartet that'll be playing on the big stage on the 13th and 14th of the month. They will be playing alternating with the Children's Theater, which is a major production that we have every year of Fractured Fairy Tales, and they do a fairy tale in a very humorous way. And of course, it's Children's Weekend, so that's the big centerpiece for Children's Weekend for them. But again, we have the musicians from Kent State there, and they're going to be very eclectic. They said they'll do some classical, but they'll introduce classical to people, but they'll also be doing country, they'll be doing Broadway, they'll be doing anything that occurs to them and that the audience wants. So we're really pleased to have them introducing it. And then, of course, we have a wandering bagpiper who plays the bagpipes, wanders around the grounds and plays the bagpipe. And, the music carries across the grounds. So it's not like you have to be right there to hear it. You could be eating 100 feet away, and you'll still hear the music and how pleasant it is, and so there's constant entertainment. And then we have a flag raising and a flag lowering with a little bit of introduction to the Revolutionary period and the close of the grounds. Excuse me. There's a lot of stuff going on in the grounds.
Yeah, there's so much for everyone to see. But and I had mentioned, about kids, and it's a great time for kids to be able to learn things and see things visually. Talk a little bit more about Kids Weekend, because I know you were saying, that is a big deal, and obviously it is.
Right. Well, several of our artists and crafters volunteer to give hands-on demonstrations, let the kids play with things and do things with clay or with bread dough or whatever it might be, so that they can begin to experience what it's like to take something as ordinary as sand and make it into something, or bread dough, a hunk of bread dough, and make it into something. So there's that opportunity on the grounds. They set up arrangements for them, or paint rocks. Lots of different activities for the children. So that's one thing. We also have a scavenger hunt, which is for children to go around the grounds and get a stamp saying that I visited so and so. And the reason is not to sell anything. Those are people who want to talk about their craft to the children. So it's a way of sort of pushing people into a certain directions that they might not otherwise take. And, sometimes parents have a different idea what they want to see than the children, but this kind of steers them in a particular direction as they're walking along. That includes some of the demonstrators as well are going to be participating in that. And then we have the entertainment, the children's theater, and all the entertainment's family entertainment. So there's always that as well. And we give a little reward. It's not a very big deal. We give them a Yankee Peddler button, like the crafters and artists have, as a reward for completing the scavenger hunt.
Nice.
Excuse me. I'm sorry, my throat's a little dry.
That's okay.
Talking too much, probably.
There's a lot to talk about. That's why. And we just want to make sure that everybody understands parking is free. It is at Clay's Park Resort. And you can head out there and you can even camp there if you want to.
Right.
Spend the weekend. So it's 3 weekends in a row. And talk about tickets one more time for folks.
Okay, tickets are available at the gate. Adults are $11, seniors $10, for first responders as well, and military. And then we have child's entrance from 6 to 11 for $3. Online, we sell tickets. They're a little bit less expensive at this point in time. They're $10.50 for adults, still $10 for seniors, and $2.50 for children. So you have two different ways to get the tickets. You don't stand in line if you buy the tickets online. So that has a certain advantage built into it.
And bring cash for food. Artisans will take the plastic, but there's ATMs there, correct?
That's correct, yes. And cash for the gate if you happen to.
And cash for the gate, yes. Okay, very good. And the website is yankeepeddlerfestival.com. It all gets started next weekend after Labor Day. And Frank, thanks for coming on again. We love sharing all the info.
Well, it's a pleasure to be with you on Spotlight, and I'm glad that I've had the opportunity to be with you again.
All right. Good luck. And I'll tell Mother Nature she's got to stick with you.
Well, the temperature's going down, so that's a step in the right direction, because roasting is not an option.
Very good. Thanks, sir. Have a great time.
Thank you.
Looking for legal advice from someone local who you can trust? The attorneys at Krugliak, Wilkins, Griffiths, and Doherty are